Okay, I'm taking measurements of the new SpeedTech front end. This first measurement is from the front side of the rotor over there to the front side of the rotor over here. And now I'm taking a measurement from the back side to the other side. And let's see. The front was 60 3/16. The back was 60 1/2. So if I average those together, it's 60.3. The other measurement I took was from the wheel mounting surface to the rotor. So this little lip right here, and that was 5/8. So on the original Firebird, it was 1 7/8. On this car, it's 5/8. So the final measurement on the original Firebird with the original front end was 1 7/8 plus 1 7/8 plus the average of the measurement from the front side of the rotor and the back side of the rotor, the average of those two measurements across. On the original Firebird, the average of those was 58. We came out to 61.75. On this new SpeedTech front end, from wheel mounting surface to rotor, it's 5/8 plus 5/8 plus the average of the two rotor measurements is 60.3. We came out to 61.55. Now that difference there is probably because I'm measuring with a string and a ruler, and I just can't get, you know, super precise. But basically it tells me that the measurements are roughly the same, 61.75 and 61.55. One of the other measurements I took was from the part of the frame where the wheel or tire would rub to the other side of the frame in the same location. And on these second gen Firebirds, it's not the frame that rubs, it's right here on the sway bar. So I measured the distance from this section of the sway bar, and over on this side, the place where the wheel rubs is right below this bolt on the sway bar, right here. So I measured that length. And let's see, that length was 37.5. Now, before I put the SpeedTech stuff on the car, when it was the original Firebird, I actually measured from the frame, and it was 35.75. And that was actually measured, you know, from frame side to frame side. But that was 35.75. But from the sway bar, it's 37.5. That's where tires rub on these Firebirds. I can actually see some little rub marks from the Trans Am with that 275 tire in the front. There's some rub marks from going full lock, but it's not really an issue. Now what I'm measuring is, now I haven't rolled these fenders, and I can roll them. That's not a problem at all. So I'm going to measure from this side over to the other side. Okay, the measurement from inner fender lip to fender lip with it's not rolled is right at 70 inches. Now the rear end measurements were already taken in a previous video, and so they haven't changed. The concerns with the narrowed rear end is how close this hub assembly is to the wheel well. I mean, you can see if the wheel, once the backspace is set, you know, the wheel is going to come back to probably, you know, right here or so. And what that means is the rotor and caliper assembly is not going to be tucked inside the wheel. It's going to be outside the wheel. If the rear end was a little bit longer, 2 inches longer, back to its factory width, then all of this would be, correctly tucked inside. So it's going to be a strange, I guess a strange backspace. There we go. The hub face is more towards the inside of the wheel well. There's the old bracket. I just left it on there because it wasn't in the way of anything. But so yeah, just interesting to see how this is going to work. I mean, again, these are not going to be tucked inside the wheel. I guess that could be better for cooling, but the wheel, if it ends somewhere around here, I don't know why this this was a narrowed rear end, but I don't see any reasoning behind it. Now, if we were going to do a mini tub and cut all this out and extend the tubs inward, then I can understand why this is shorter. But so you could fit more wheel into there and have a better back spacing. But anyway, I guess it is what it is now. I guess the way it is set up now, I could mini tub at a later point. But anyway, there's the rear end. And there's plenty of clearance to connect the brake line. The rotor sure is close. There's a good shot. It's about, it's about an inch or so from the wheel well. But you can see that see the front rotor up there. See it way up towards the front of the car. You can see the rear rotor is much narrower. The rear end is narrower than the front. Anyway.